huge Megabass Japan restock, the introduction of a new JDM brand, Noiki, comes to the store, and some custom-made limited edition colors from Lucky Craft Japan. This is what's new this week at Hookup Tackle. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle. The Hookup Tackle is the world's largest showcase of Megabass products, featuring baits and colors not found at any other dealer. The Hookup also offers a wide display of OSP, Evergreen, Deps, Lucky Craft, Jackal, and many more. The Hookup Tackle is owned and operated by family, is staffed by guides and verified tackle nerds who love helping anglers elevate their craft. If you're in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you stop by our showroom and check out the wonderful world of Megabass and the Hookup for yourself. If you shop online, there are almost 10,000 SKUs of Megabass products alone, with hundreds of other companies and new products being added daily. So next time you're looking for that hard-to-find bait, that color your fish have never seen before, or maybe you just want to elevate your game, look at thehookuptackle.com. What is up, my friends? Happy Sunday. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, aka the Tackle Otaku on Instagram, being joined once again by my buddy Jeff, Jeffrey the King on Instagram. We are the Hookup Tackle USA. What is up, Jeff?
It's good to be back.
Long time no see on our Sunday episodes here.
Absolutely.
How were your journeys back east?
They were very long and very drop shotty.
You saw a lot of drop shot fish caught in a 2-week span.
Thank God you came up and you threw something other than that.
I mean, dude, drop shot, Ned rig, pretty much the same in my boat. I mean, you got to do it, you got to do it, but...
Oh, God.
2 weeks of it?
2.5.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you got to do,
Here
right?
we are now.
Here we are. Yeah, well, welcome back, dude. It's good to have you. It's weird talking to myself, by the way.
Yeah.
When I film these without you.
Well, you got to become a big YouTuber. Big YouTubers always talk to themselves.
I know. I need to get the vlogging thing going. I just don't have it. It's so much more fun talking to you.
Oh, yeah. It's way better.
Yeah. So if you are new to the channel, this is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle, where we highlight new items as well as important restocks so you guys can stay on top of the game. We also like to drink beer around here. You want one, Jeff?
No.
I mean, welcome
Absolutely
back. I
not.
see you pointing. Trust me, I know where my fucking beer is.
It's 4 out of
dude.
reach for you.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
you got to bend over and... What are you drinking this fine Sunday morning?
This Sunday morning, I am drinking
Oh.
nothing but the finest Orion from the beautiful island of Okinawa, Japan. Is that surprising to you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. You sure you don't want one, Jeff?
I hope you know that you're probably... There's probably only 10 people in the entire States that drink as much Orion as you do.
Oh, I hope not. So I'm top 10 is what you're thinking.
I think
I don't
you're
know how you came up with this stat.
I just can't imagine there's a lot of Americans that drink Orion unwillingly.
I'll bet you a lot of people watching this right now
Okay,
drink
now.
beer for beer
Now.
with me.
100%.
Yeah. I've probably done a better job getting Orion out there.
Yes.
And this is really, it's Griff's fault.
Oh, is it?
He exposed me to it. You want a beer, dude?
No,
Are you sure? Okay. Well,
More
cheers,
for
my
you?
friends. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I've done a better job getting Orion out there than Megabass, probably.
Yeah.
But it tastes
It's
better.
Still no sponsorship.
It's going to come. I got to figure this out. All right. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. Good to have you back, Jeff. All right. Let's jump into Megabass Restock. So, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, Megabass shut down for a couple weeks. It's kind of close to the end of the year. They're going through inventory. So a lot of you guys have been asking about the Respect Series color. We normally see Respect drop every month. This month they couldn't get it out before they shut down, so it should show up early October. So if you're wondering or worried that you missed the September drop, you didn't. It's just lagged, so we should see that hopefully next week, if not the week after. So keep your eyes peeled. Next couple of drops are super dope on Respect, so stay tuned. Just keep your eyes on Instagram. We will let you know. But let's cover some restock stuff from Japan, because a lot of things that have been out of stock that are important came back in. So I'm going to fly through this because none of this is really necessarily new, but it's stuff that's been out for a long time. So I-Jack comes back in all the Japan colors. The I-Jack is a great wake bait. It's a really good one for this time of the year because it gives you a lot of sound and you can fish it very slow, so it ends up being a perfect kind of fallish type bait. The I-Jack, if you guys aren't familiar with it has a rudder system inside of the bait that is attached to a weight. So the rudder does a couple things. First, it keeps it upright as it moves through. You'll notice it has this triangular shaped bill, so it's going to allow the bait to have a lot of side-to-side flash. It's also going to give it that knock as it goes through. So slow paced, that nice one knock sound, and the perfect kind of shad profile for this time of the year when the fish are moving and migrating and feeding on them shallow. So if you guys have been waiting on any of the Japan colors, Prism Pink, you know, the carps, the gills, all that kind of stuff, those are all back this week from Megabass Japan. All right, while we are on wake baits, Griff's favorite wake bait makes a return. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been asking about Gong and Gong colors. I'm not sure what Megabass is doing with Gong. We can't seem to get a clear answer on production, so we are just grabbing whatever they make whenever they make it. So I wish I had 42 different colors to bring you guys, but they only made one. And now, it's in the Invisible, which is a cool color. It's available in the Gong and the Gong Junior. If you guys aren't familiar with the Gong, this is the monkey-shaped wake bait. We talk about it a lot here. It's one of our favorite baits. Griff throws this thing all the time, swears by it. It just, if it didn't look like a monkey, it would probably be one of the most popular wake baits there is. But once you get past the face, you know, that's what the fish are saying. It's just got a beautiful sound in the water. The color Invisible is great because it's got the 110. It kind of looks like a jersey, but it's basically just a shad profile down there. And it's got that big blade that clacks around on the back. So if you guys have been waiting on Gongs, these are back. Okay, and then big restock this week in the 110 LBO. So all of the colors return in the 110 LBO this week. The 110 LBO is the bait that's basically, I don't know why they call it a 110. Well, I do because it sells, but it's 115 millimeters, 14 grams. It's got the LBO weight transfer system in it instead of the traditional weight transfer system that the original 110 has. So the LBO is this little shift here. It's this little kind of bullet shaped thing that has these oscillating bearings. It's magnetized, so when you cast, see if I can not hook myself, it shifts to the back, so you get lightning, you know, just like missile casts, and then as soon as you start retrieving, it snaps in place and it's in there. So it's a pretty much a silent bait with great castability. All the good colors return in this. So, you know, the golds, the cruising blues, realize those are upside down, the PMC through lemon. So these are in their saltwater color line, but a lot of these are super applicable to freshwater. I mean, that's just going to be a smallmouth killer. So if you guys have been waiting for the LBOs, those return. And Jeff was just asking me, so, you know, a lot of times in the saltwater colors in the Megabass line, they turn from suspending jerkbaits to sinking jerkbaits. So like if you think of the +1s, you know, the X80 Magnums, right? They turn into sinking. In the LBO, it's actually, it maintains its slow float. So it's going to act just like a regular 110, just has a different action to it because it's a little bit wider body. So it's going to have less kind of side to side and more kind of a rolling action just based on the shape of the bait. But it's going to have that same kind of slow float / suspend motion to it. All right, while we're on wake baits, it's a bait, I guess it's wake bait month. The ORC and the ORC Burning Shads return in all the Japan colors. So if you guys have been waiting on colors like Nero Daytona, PM Chartreuse Bag Gill, PM8 Reaction, all of those return. We also see the smaller version in the ORC Burning Shad in all the Japan colors. So Gigi Gill is back, Gilco is back, Wagin Hasu. So all the key Japan colors in both the ORC and the Burning Shad back from Megabass Japan. All right, we also see a restock, and this is a bait that we haven't had in almost a year and a half, the tiny Siglett. Now, if you follow along our Sunday programs, you've been seeing basically Siglett drops every week for the last few weeks. So we had the grand Siglett come back a few weeks ago, then the regular Siglett, and now the tiny Siglett. So just to give you guys an idea of the size difference, here's a grand Siglett versus the tiny. Okay, so the tiny Siglett is 30 millimeters. It's 2.7 grams, so it's a smaller dude. Perfect for, you know, if you guys are trout fishing, pond fishing, really anything where they're feeding on tiny little bugs, tiny little baits. It's perfect. It has a little treble hook on the bottom instead of the dual hook. It has those silicone wings that open up and basically just create that real buggy action on the top. Now, I know a lot of you guys are getting to, you know, it's almost October, right? And so in a lot of the world, it never cools off here, it feels like, Jeff. It's always hot as balls, but I know a lot of you guys live in places where it's starting to cool off already, and you're probably wondering, like, you know, hey, Megabass, you're a few months behind on your bug baits. Well, if there's one thing that we know about Megabass, it's that you got to get it when they're available, right? So it would have been great to have these guys in April, May, June when the bug hatches were going crazy. But if you wait until next April, May, June, they won't be here. So like I said, we haven't seen these in over a year. We probably won't see them again for another year. So if it's a bait you've been waiting on, definitely scoop it up, even if it's not bug hatch season for you. That way you've got them when you need them. All right, really quick, restocks and a bunch of the key colors in the Deep-X series of crankbaits. Both the Deep-X 100 and 200 come back from Megabass Japan. So colors like MB Gizzard and Gilko return. We also see a huge restock in the smaller crankbait line in the MRX Griffon. So this is one of our best-selling little crankbaits. It's just got that beautiful high pitch, rattle to it. Every time we get them in, they sell out quickly. So we see a big restock. They're 43 millimeters, quarter ounce. So all the key colors, Fire Craw, M Stardust Shad, right? Crack Lime, Chartreuse Bug, on and on and on. So if you guys have been waiting or missing any colors, now is the time to scoop them up. Those return. And then we also see a restock in all of the Japan colors in the Slap LBO. So this is one of our best selling jerkbait crankbait hybrids, right? It's 77 millimeters, 7/16 of an ounce. It's a true suspending bait. So it's right about that ½ ounce size. So, you know, any color you guys have been waiting on, they all return. The Slap LBO, you know, flap slaps in general sell great, and they're a really popular bait both early in the year and late in the year. So it's a great fall bait because it gives the fish just a different look. You know, this time of the year when the fish are keyed on bait, they really see a lot of jerk baits, they see a lot of crankbaits, right? And, you know, jerk baits have that traditional side to side movement. Crankbaits have that traditional wide wobble. The slap is more of a flashing type bait. So it's going to be a little tighter motion, and it's going to have a lot more top to bottom movement to it versus like big side to side movements to it. So it just gives the fish a different look, something different. Again, designed as a crankbait that can also be twitched, right? So think of it as a crankbait first that can also work like a jerkbait. It does have that LBO weight transfer system, so same as that 110 LBO. It fires like a rocket, so it casts great, even on like a windy morning, and it's a perfect one for fishing that shallow water when those fish are up cruising. So if you guys have been waiting or just looking for something different this fall, Slap LBO, back from Japan. Okay, jumping into your world for a minute.
Okay.
Jeff, how about some glide baits?
There you go.
All right, so all the key colors in Japan coloring from Megabass return in the I-Slide 185 and 135. So 185 sees a return of colors like black bass, the gill colors. The 135, which has been our best seller as of late, and really because it's an easy one to throw. 135 millimeters, it's just under 1 ounce, so you can throw it on almost any gear you want to throw it. All the key colors in both the floating and the slow sinking returns. If you've been waiting on IUs, if you've been waiting on the HT clears, black bass, any of those all are back in stock this week from Megabass Japan. So the IU clone is basically got an ABS type body skeleton to it, or internal structure, and then the whole thing is coated with a soft plastic kind of outer shell, right? So what you get is you get a rigid bait that has this soft plastic feel, soft plastic movement, and you get basically the benefit of having both. It's designed, you can certainly swim it and it will move in. It also has this kind of rear tail segment, but it also has this really nice, easy glide to it. What's also cool about this is because it's soft plastic, you can put scent on there, right? So it will maintain that scent. It also has a little lip here on the chin that you can attach a grenade weight to. Now, speaking of grenade weights, we also see the Nogales quick change tungsten sinkers come back in. So these are just a great thing to have on hand. The TG Slim Sinker has a little clip at the tip of it, so you can change them out very easily. You can add one of these to the bait here, and that will just help weight it down and sink it. Or you can use them, you know, however you want. If you look at the package, they'll even talk about how you can add them to, you know, a jig rig, a Tokyo rig. Now these come in a bunch of different sizes, anywhere from, you know, really lightweight to bigger weights. Now you can use these to accomplish a lot of different things. You can take some of these and you can add them to a bait like the IU clone simply by just clipping it on there, right? And now you've added a little bit extra weight. And a lot of baits will have this little chin hole to it, right? The Giganato that we talked about last week has it. You know, a lot of the Jackal swim baits will have it. So these can be a really versatile thing to just add a little bit extra weight. If you go with some of the heavier sizes like the quarter, the 3/8, the 3/16, these would make a great just quick change free rig weight as well. I know a lot of you guys have really been getting into free rig. If you just put a swivel on your line, you can easily just attach your quarter, and then you've got a quarter. And if it's too heavy, you can take it off, put a lighter one on, or vice versa. So a lot of different things you can do with these weights. So definitely scoop those up. I think it'll be a great addition to your arsenal from Nogales. Okay, new this week from Lucky Craft Japan. We love the Lucky Craft gunfish around here. We talk about it a lot. It's definitely one of our favorite walking baits, especially this time of the year in the fall. So we had Lucky Craft make the gunfish in both the 95 and the 115 size in a couple of colors that we were dying to have in it. So we see this week the limited edition drop of Bone and Otaku Shad. Okay, and that's available in both sizes. Now I'll let you look at them a little closer. Now Bone is pretty self-explanatory, right? This is a color that I never really knew why wasn't in their color line, so we had to make it. Bone is one of my favorite topwater colors. It literally works all over the country, and the gunfish is an amazing topwater bait because it has sound, right? So you still have some noise, and as it moves, you get that little bit of a pop from the front. But when you see this in the water, it sits much lower in the water and has more of like a draft and a wake to it than a traditional topwater bait like a Super Spook or a Kick Knocker, something like that. So Bone is definitely a color that should just absolutely crush for you guys. Otaku Shad is a color that we had Lucky Craft do earlier in the year in an LV500 that we included in a bento box. It's just a great, just kind of clear, transparent shad profile. It's got just a hit of like a transparent pearl on the belly. It's got that kind of ghost minnow, kind of greenish brown on the back, and then just a touch of like a grayish blue on the side, little hit of a shiny fin and cheek there. So you get a combination of a clear bait with just enough color. This is a great one when they get really picky on size, right? So if they're eating small little bait or you're not sure, sometimes they're feeding on full-size shad, you go to the next cove and it's on fry, something like that. This can be a great one for that, great one for clear water. And then of course Bone is an amazing one for when they're on full-size bait. So excited to get these on the water, excited to bring them to you. This will be a limited edition drop, so when they're gone, they will probably be gone for a while until we get a chance to remake them. So if you are looking for just a couple of cool colors, Otaku Shad, Bone, available now from Lucky Craft Japan. All right, new addition to the shop this week, we see a new Japanese brand. This is the brand Noiki. Now, Noiki makes some amazing soft plastic baits over in Japan. They're all made in Japan, just highly effective. It's a super popular brand over there. We're gonna start bringing the brand over for you guys so you can experience everything. Now, this is a brand new bait for them. This is their newest release, so we figured this would be a good place to start. And this is a bait called the Red Bee. Now, this is an amazing little finesse drop shot bait. You can see it's kind of shaped similar to like a death hat or something like that, a little thicker, but towards the back it has some ribs, some segments, so it's going to move a little bit differently. It's going to give it a little different action, and of course it has that little shad tail to it. So it's available in a bunch of really key colors: perches, green pumpkins, right, cinnamons, all the colors that you would want to have in it. If you guys are fishing around smallmouth, you are going to find that they are going to absolutely smoke and destroy the Red Bee. I think you guys are going to be really happy with it. So if you want to try something new, you know, just something that fish have not seen at all before, you can give that a look. It is flavored with what they call bite guts. I won't smell that one, Jeff. You can sniff that one. Oh yeah. It smells like bite guts. You want to smell it?
I'm good.
Okay, so it's definitely got that flavor to it. So scented, made in Japan, different action, nothing not to love about that. Noiki Red Bees in stock. We also see some new additions from Nories Japan. So let's start with a couple of buzz baits. So Nories is set to basically take the world by storm here as they, you know, restock some items that are super popular and continue to develop new items. So this week we see a couple of buzzbaits. We see the Volcano 2 and the Volcano Gripper. Now, the Volcano Gripper is a very unique buzzbait. It's got a different shaped blade to it, as you can see. The idea behind this is that it is a small, compact buzzbait, but that blade puts off a totally different vibration and sound than a traditional buzzbait blade will. It's much more of like a plopper type sound. So it's got that definitely kind of plop to it. Still has a squeak. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's kind of an in between a silent buzzbait and like a clacker buzzbait. So gives some sound, but not like a scary sound. Definitely more of a plop. So 3/8 and ½ ounce, bunch of colors. Those are available now. And then we also see the Volcano 2 available now, which is basically their smaller, more compact finesse version. So again, it stays in a 3/8 ounce size, right? But it's just in a much tighter, smaller frame. So if you guys are looking for more of a compact finesse buzzbait, this could be a great addition to the Volcano and the Volcano Gripper, both available from Nories. And then we also see an expansion of their soft plastic line. This is the Big Escape Twin. Now the Escape Twin is kind of like their creature style bait. This is their big version. So I'll take it out so you guys can see it. So the Big Escape Twin, basically kind of their brush hog beaver kind of hybrid bait, right? Has the big paddles here, so they are going to have a lot of kick to them. It's got the tentacles, it's got the legs. So basically just another great creature bait, just in a little bit larger size, so more in that true 5-inch size, 4.5, 5-inch size. So if you guys have been looking for just a different offering, Big Escape Twin from Nories, available now. You know what I have, Jeff?
What do you have?
I have an enormous tube.
You have a big one?
It's enormous.
Is it thick?
Oh yeah, super thick.
Hmm.
The only thing you can call it is enormous.
Do the big girls like it?
Of course they do. Now you know smallmouth love tubes, right?
Oh, dude, yeah, they love
Like you just came from the land of tubes.
Yep.
Right?
3 or 4-inch tubes.
Oh no. There's no playing with this guy. New from Reins, Japan, the enormous tube arrives. Now, this is a man's tube, Jeff.
That's a musky tube.
No offense, Griff. This is a bass tube,
Dude,
guy.
I'm fishing that for musky.
Look at that beautiful thing.
Um.
All right, so the enormous tube is literally enormous.
Yeah, I'd
right?
say.
It comes with an internal harness, right, that you can rig. It has 2 feathered trebles on the side, ready for action, and it has these little like you know, dangly things, and you can plug them on the hook and make it weedless. Okay, so if you want it to be weedless, so that way you can flip it. I mean, I just see you flipping this thing like crazy, Jeff. You can just cover those hooks like that, and that way you don't have to worry about snagging.
How the hell would you hook a fish, though?
Oh, dude, don't worry about it.
Okay.
They're treble hooks. They're gonna hook them. So lots of options that you can do with this thing. it looks really cool in the water. It looks a lot like I don't know, like a giant water dog, you know, like an enormous water dog moving through. So, you know, during the spawn, big tubes are definitely a thing. A lot of you guys know that fishing for largemouth. I don't know if this thing has any game or not outside of the spawn, but it's cool. So I thought I'd bring them in. So it's available in a bunch of colors. There's some blacks, there's some chartreuses, there's some whites. So if you guys are looking for, you know, just the next level tube, Jeff is just so confused right now. You're so mad, aren't you? Because you don't have an enormous tube. You got a tiny ass tube, Jeff.
I fucking do.
Yeah.
It's only 3 inches.
Not me.
But it gets fucking bit way more than that garbage.
Well, the big girl's like a big, enormous tube.
Yeah.
So this is how I roll. You're laughing, and so am I. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool. Griff, are you gonna enjoy throwing this? Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Griff's gonna throw it.
You guys plan on catching fish with it, or just toying around with it?
Oh, dude, I think they're gonna chew this thing. I really do. I think it's goofy and
what are you
ridiculous.
gonna fish it for? Largemouth, right? Like,
yeah,
8-pounders only.
and smallmouth.
What do you
Dude,
mean
smallmouth are gonna crush this thing.
No, they're not.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
look
see
at
this
it
down there, and they're just gonna want to kill it. I mean, look at that. Who wouldn't want to kill this thing? Like a fucking
It's a
alien
mop.
coming from the sky. Look at it. It does look like a mop. Should have been called the mop tube. So if you want to throw a mop at your bass, check it out. Available now from Reins, Japan.
How heavy are they? Please,
don't know.
can you spec it out so we know? 8 inches?
Yeah, it's 78 grams. 8.5 inches. There's no way this is 78 grams. 78 grams?
What is that, almost 3 ounces?
Holy shit. I guess it is 78 grams. Yeah, it's a 3-ounce tube. Why are you laughing? That's what you need to catch them, dude. So there you go.
You have to buy a specific tube for just to fish it.
78 grams. 3 ounces, basically. Yeah, it's a 3-ounce tube. That's why they eat it.
Oh my god.
So there you go,
dude.
guys. I know you guys have been dying for this to come to market, right? So you're welcome. There you go. First person to catch one,
Yeah.
and post a pic and tag me.
Okay. What's gonna happen?
Let's do a prize for 'em.
What prize?
I'll send you a prize pack.
It better not be just another one of them.
No. All right, first person to catch one on the enormous tube and tag the Hookup Tackle, I will send you a limited edition color Edovision 110. How about that?
Give me it. I'll go fucking catch one.
There you go. But you gotta tag me.
Yeah, easy.
All right,
I'll
there you go.
literally-
Challenge dropped. And Griff and Jeff are excluded.
Yeah. What the?
What do you mean what?
I was literally just gonna go tonight and catch a fucking.
All right, you guys are in.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to see some fish caught on it because I think it's cool as shit. I want to see it, but it's got the mop has to be dangling from the face. It can't
I'll
be.
drip it over
It
the
can't be
mouth.
some bullshit where you go and catch one on a Ned rig, and then stick this in the corner of the mouth.
Yeah,
and
don't
let
be
me
doing
believe.
that.
Like it's got to be legit.
I'll get cast to catch footage.
It's got to be. Yeah, I need cast to catch footage.
Make that legit, dude.
Yeah. All right, there you go, guys. What you've
God.
been dying to have,
Bless it.
the enormous tube in
Are
stock.
we gonna throw it in the tank?
Oh hell yeah!
Can we see what it
And then we're
looks
gonna
like?
mop the shop with it. There you go. Available now.
Moving on.
All right. Moving on. We see a restock from Deps Japan in a lot of the key colors in the headlock jigs. I know a lot of you guys have been looking for green pumpkin orange, black blue, right? This is the jig we talk about all the time. We literally, every time we talk about football jigs, this is the jig that comes up. So all the key colors return this week from Deps in that. And we also see some new colors this week from Berkley in the Berkley Powerglide. So this is their back gliding bait designed to kick back. Now this is from Berkley, Japan. So these are only available in Japan and here, of course. They're slick, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
I just got big tube on my mind. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
what
you do.
mean. I have no idea.
So the Powerglide is basically the back glide bait from Berkley, Japan. Really cool bait. It's very thick, right? Matches the enormous tube. And it just glides back, has that nice, power bait scent to it. So, unlike Berkley USA, an original design. So that's cool. So available now. I just lost Jeff. So there you go. Some new colors, June bug, watermelon green, some really dope ones. So from Berkeley, Japan.
This video is derailed.
All I want to do is throw that stupid fucking tube now. All right, and while we're on 3-ounce tubes and all these giant baits, Jeff, let's talk about the line you need to throw them on.
We're talking 25 pound.
This is actually the opposite. So in stock now, the new bait finesse line from Varivas, Japan. We see the Trout bait finesse casting braid. What are you looking at, Jeff?
I'm just
What am I
reading it.
What am I missing? Oh, it says Super Trout Advanced Bait Finesse.
I like it.
Now, Varivas is probably one of the most popular line brands in Japan with the bait finesse guys. And the main reason is they build some of the lighter, thinner braids better than anybody else. It's really hard to build super small, super thin lines and build them very consistently. And Varivas is one of the few brands that does it well. So they have an extremely loyal following. So it'll be exciting to bring some of this line over to you guys. A lot of you have been asking for it. So here you go. So this is designed to be a bait finesse casting line. So even though it says Super Trout Advanced, it doesn't matter. Just put it on your bait finesse rod. Bass, bluegill, trout, whatever. It's going to be super limp. It's definitely a different scale of sizing. So you're going to want to make sure that you pay attention to the sizing. Don't worry so much about the pound. Like this will be like a 10 pound, a 9 pound, a 15 pound. Go off the go rating, go off the sizing on the chart so you guys can make sure you get the right size. But brand new line, if you guys are bait finesse fishermen, this will be exciting for you. If you want to play in the PE braids, there you go, from Varivas, Japan. And while we are on small stuff, so Smith Japan, we've been bringing in stuff the last couple weeks. We see some more new additions. We see some new colors in the Niakis Spinner. We also see some treble hook versions in the Niakis Spinner arrive as well. So up until this point, they've all been the single hook. Now we see the treble hook additions add plus some new colors. So the Niakis Spinner is basically the best inline spinner in Japan. Super popular over there. Basically the spinner that all other spinners try to knock off over there. So they've been flying out of here. So some new additions for you guys that you guys should be into. And then also a cool new gadget from Smith. This is the MG hook bottle. Now this is a really cool tool if you guys are fishing from shore, or just, you know, one of the things that's a struggle is, for me, especially shore fishing, is I tend to just have like 1 or 2 rods at a time, right? So a lot of times I'm cutting things off and tying something else on, but I want to go back to that thing that I just cut off, you know, later on, and especially with little hooks. So this kind of solves a problem. So basically you get this little bottle on a little carabiner, and it basically just pops open, right? And so let's say you had a little, you know, hook, like a little finesse drop shot or free rig or, you know, something, and you cut it off and you don't know what to do with that hook. You don't want to put it back in the package and risk rusting everything out, but it's so tiny, you just drop it in there, right? Seal it up, and then this will just be clipped to your pack or wherever. And then when you want that hook again, you literally just untwist from the bottom, and the bottom piece is magnetized, and there's your hook, and out comes the hook. You can retie it on, and you're good to go, right? And the magnet is very strong, so it's not going to drop the hooks. It will hold about a full pack of hooks. So it's designed really more to just be a convenience thing for you. So as you're cutting off and retying, you have a place to just kind of store those single hooks and drop them in there so they're not just laying around loose, right? So again, necessary? No. Pretty cool? Yes. So if you're looking just for a cool little gadget, there you go. The Smith MG hook bottle, available now. All right, while we are on small hooks, we see the addition of a new hook line from Ryugi. This is the Infini Hobbit line. Now the Hobbit line is basically the same Ryugi Infini hook that we all love, but in super small sizes, right? So I mean, sizes all the way down to a size 8. Right? So if you guys are fishing just like super finesse, super small little baits, and you have the need for, you know, these smaller EWGs, like I don't know why I would ever use this hook, but I want to. Can you even see it, Jeff?
I can barely see it.
Look at that. Look how tiny that thing is.
Jesus.
You even see that thing? So, I mean, it's dope that there's an option. I know a lot of you guys, especially you bait finesse guys, love, you know, smaller plastics and smaller finesse. And honestly, there's not a lot of great hook options when you get below like a size 1 or 2. So this will allow you to get down into pretty much any size you want to fit any plastic. So new from Ryugi. All right, staying in that really small realm, how about a jerkbait?
My God.
Yeah, this is the biggest jerkbait I've seen.
It's a little large.
So, new this week from ISM Japan, Infinite Seed Makers, we see the Mag Nebarius 180. So 180 millimeters, 59 grams. So we're looking at like 2¼ ounce, basically. Just a monster jerkbait. It is a floating jerkbait, very responsive. It comes stock with Ryugi twin hooks on it. There's also a blade, so if you wanted to take maybe that back one off and put a blade, or the middle one and put a blade, just to add some extra flash, you can. I don't know if it's going to have a lot of appeal here, but it's kind of bridging that gap between jerkbaits and swim baits, and just, this is definitely a trend, going with bigger, larger, hard baits, whether it's crankbaits, jerkbaits, spinner baits, right? So here's a new addition. And the tagline, I mean, basically is extremely responsive Magnum jerkbait with blade. So there you go. So if you guys are looking for just something huge, the Mag Nebarius from ISM in stock now. What?
What jerkbait rod are you fishing that on? Jeez.
Oh, dude, this isn't gonna go in no fucking jerkbait rod. Look at this thing.
That thing's bigger than the Kanata, ain't it?
It's fucking huge. Oh yeah. That's
Oh
a good comparison. We should compare that.
Dude, it's like 7.5 inches long. It's thick too.
That's what she said.
Okay. Ugh.
Just to give you guys a size comparison. So the Kanata's a pretty big jerkbait.
Dude, the Kanata's big.
Right? So
Good lord.
there you go. The Kanata ain't shit anymore, Jeff. Whew. Yeah, so Kanata's 1 ounce. This is over 2 ounce. So I mean that's a big girl right there.
That is a lure.
Look at that thing. It's thick too. So
Is it?
yeah, there's some stuff in there.
Yeah.
There's some things inside. So
Oh God.
I don't know. I mean, I want to need this. Don't you? I mean, I want to throw this. So
the twins too. I've never seen a bait come with twins on it before.
yeah, that's pretty dope. So come stock with some cool stuff, and you get a blade, which is duh. I mean, everything should
Maybe
have
you
a
could
blade.
Put that blade in the middle.
Yeah, you could put the blade in the middle. You can put the blade wherever the fuck you want to put the blade, dude.
Yeah.
You can free rig the blade if you want to.
Free rig it.
Yeah, I think
like
that's
this idea.
I think that's the deal. So what's interesting is, you know, you normally see a bait like this and you think saltwater, but it's a freshwater design.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I
so-
can understand it in Japan because those fish constantly eat ayu, and ayu are probably about that size. They have hasu.
Yep.
They have all the big forage.
Right.
It makes sense why they make a lot of baits that size.
This size.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
they've-
I think here it's the same idea. It's just going to be a select audience.
Right.
Right.
Gizzard are shad eaters,
Herring,
trout eaters, herring,
trout.
American shad.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of you guys live in places where your fish feed on big forage. This might be something cool to try. So there you go. I don't know. Worth a stab. I think it's cool. So new from ISM. All right. While we're talking about ISM, we see a huge restock in one of our best-selling swim jigs. This is the ISM Carver swim jig. Now, the Carver is an amazing swim jig. It's been out of stock for a long time. This is one of those we've been dying to get back. So all the key colors, all the key sizes, 3/8, half, 5/8, all return. I think most of you guys are familiar with the Carver at this point. This is a jig that we talk about a lot. But just in case you're not, let me quickly show you. The ISM Carver is a very unique swim jig. It's designed to rig a paddle tail weedless, and the EWG hook on it pivots, okay? So it comes with a little spring on the head. So you can take whatever your favorite paddle tail swim bait is. This is a Doe Live shad. It'll fit a spark shad. It'll fit a Mag Draft Freestyle. It'll fit a rhythm wave. Whatever you like is fine. And you can just kind of pick the size based on the size of the forage. A 4-inch, a 5-inch, 4.5-inch. Any of those were great, but you could even go up to like a 5.8 or, like I said, the 6-inch Mag-Draft Freestyle fits it amazingly well also. So that's just going to twist on the front there on the screw. And you're going to rig this just like you would any other traditional Texas rig. Just make sure it comes out in the center there. And there you go. So you've got a fully weedless swim jig now. You can bring it through grass, you can bring it through cover and not have to worry about snagging. But then when the fish eat it, that hook is going to pivot, so it's going to get them exactly where it needs to go. So an excellent hookup ratio on this jig. So we sell gazillions of these things every year. It's definitely a favorite out here on the West Coast. I know a lot of you guys are starting to see it trickle back into the East as well. So if you've been waiting, all the key colors, all the key sizes from ISM are back. All right, we see a few new colors this week from Gamakatsu Japan under their Lux brand in the Avenge Prop 80. Now the Avenge Prop 80 we brought into the store a few weeks ago. They flew out of here. These are some of their newer color additions. So if you guys missed out or if you got some and loved it, definitely scoop up. There's 4 new colors. So there's carp, there's some clear bait fish, just some really nice colors in that. There's just a great plopper style bait that has the 2 ploppers that spin. So, you know, everybody loves a plopper. Check them out from Gamakatsu Japan. All right, big restock this week from Gan Craft Japan in the Killer's Bait Over spinner bait. Now, the Killer's Bait Over is one of our best-selling spinner baits for heavy line, heavy cover, big fish. It's got a very unique shaped wire to it that allows the bait to vibrate very hard, but still maintain incredible strength. So if you guys are fishing, you know, big, powerful fish, heavy rods, 20, 25 pound fluoro or even braid, and you need a spinnerbait that can stand up to the abuse, the Killer's Bait Over is definitely one to consider. It's available in tons of sizes, 3/8 half, 5/8, 3/4, all the key colors. So everything returns this week from Gan Craft. While we are on spinnerbaits, a new addition to the shop. If you guys are a Bento Box subscriber, you would have received one of these a few months ago. This is one of the best-selling spinnerbaits in Japan. This is from Daiwa, Japan. The Steez spinnerbait is now available. So very simple, very clean, very classic design here with the Steez spinnerbait. Light wire, great hook, hand-tied skirt, unique shaped head for true tracking. Very thin blades for tight and hard vibration. So, you know, just an all-around great made spinnerbait, one of the best sellers in Japan. So just trying to bring some new options to you guys. You know, I know a lot of you guys throw a lot of spinnerbaits in the fall, so available in several sizes, a bunch of colors. That is new from Daiwa. What the hell am I saying? Hold on. That's new from Daiwa, Jeff.
What's it called?
I don't know. Spinnerbait.
Yeah. Bingo. Nailed
Steez
it.
spinnerbait. Cheers. All right, Steez spinnerbait. Daiwa, Japan. New now. Dude, I'll nailed
edit
that
it.
so hard.
I'll chop it up
Yeah,
somehow.
make something happen.
Good
Let me just,
Lord.
can I just drink beer? Are we done?
No. You still have so much more to go.
Shit. All right, also from Daiwa, Japan, we see a new color addition in the Bank Hacker head. Now, this is designed to match with the Bank Hacker swimmer that we restocked last week. You know, it's just a great all-around swimbait head. It's hard to find swimbait heads that have any type of movement built into them that also have a really big, you know, like a true 5/0 and 6/0 swimbait hook. So there's the Bank Hacker head. And again, designed to pair with this guy. I'll rig one up really quick so you can see it while I still have some Bank Hacker swimmers available. Bank Hacker swimmer is that kind of hybrid, kind of hollow belly swim bait, but it's a perfect fit if you guys are looking for just a little different movement through the water. The Bank Hacker swimmer is a really hard, durable, soft plastic swim bait that takes advantage of that durable plastic, but also using that hollow chambers to give it a lot of life and a lot of action. So I definitely think one that you guys can incorporate into your arsenal. So there you go, new color head, available now from Daiwa, Japan. All right, fly through some restocks on reels Both Shimano and Daiwa finally starting to open up. We're seeing more and more stock each week come in. So just fly through these with you. The Zillions are back both in right hand and left hand. We see the USA Zillions drop. We also still have a few of the JDM Zillions in. So if you guys have been waiting on Zillions, those are available. We also see Steez A's return in righty and lefty. It's been a while since those have been in. So if you guys have been waiting on Steez A's, those are back. We also see for the first time in ages, Tranks 200s come back from Shimano. So Tranks has been a nightmare for almost 2 years now. We're starting to see a trickle come back through. And we also see on the higher end, we see the Antares return. Jeff's eyeballing this one. You like the Antares?
No, well,
What?
there's just
Oh, my enormous tube was laying on it. That happens. Little imprint. You're used to that, Jeff. Well, you made me open the box now, so I'm going to show the Antares. So,
show me what you got.
if you're just a bougie bitch,
Oh, yeah.
right, and you got to have the chrome, you got to have the shiny, like you want everybody to know that you spent $600 on a reel, the Antares is the one for you.
The 2021.
So it is chrome, it is made in Japan. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's so smooth. I mean, Antares is super dope. Definitely the smoothest flagship reel from Shimano. So if you guys have been waiting, again, these have been a nightmare to keep in. So those return as well. So those are back from Shimano.
I see you're wiping it a lot. What does that mean?
Well, because it's literally the most fingerprinted reel on the history of the planet. I mean, it's literally like super chrome, right? So, I don't know, it drives me nuts, but I mean, it's a sexy
Yeah,
sucker when
it's
it's clean,
beautiful.
but it is gonna, if fingerprints drive you crazy, do not get this reel. Just, that's the precursor. Should come on the box.
Yeah, for
right?
reals.
Yeah. So, but if, again, shiny, smooth, if you're a Shimano fan and you like their high-end stuff, Antares are back. Okay. Back in stock from Megadish? Megadeath? Are we done yet?
What were you trying to say?
Can we eat tacos? What is happening, Jeff? I'm like 7 sips of an Orion in. This is going to be a long Sunday.
Oh God.
What was I trying to say? I think I was trying to say Megabass.
I think so.
All right. Back from Megabass Japan. Nailed it. We see the last of the batch in casting Hyuga rods from Japan. So the Hyuga, if you guys remember, is the line of rods that Megabass originally set out to develop for shore anglers. So they made them, it takes that old Levante, like the original Levante Pyrofill blank, which was strong and responsive, but durable, right? So it could withstand banging around rocks, trees, you know, combat type fishing like what a shore fisherman would do. The line was so popular, it expanded into all kinds of different lengths. But we see a return of a couple of the key lighter models is the 6.6 medium light and the 6.7 medium light. So the 6.6 medium light is going to be perfect for lighter reaction stuff. So it kind of bridges the gap between bait finesse and small hard baits. So 1/8 ounce, 3/16 ounce, 1/4 ounce stuff, great on this rod. It's got a nice flexibility to it, loads well. Super stylish, just a beautiful rod, and priced at $2.25. So it's priced kind of right in that Levante price range. So just a really inexpensive JDM rod. The 6.7 medium light is designed to be a finesse soft plastics rod. So it's a little bit faster. So, you know, small little finesse jigs, you know, lighter finesse plastics. This would be a great one for that as well. This is going to be the last of the batch for a while. We bought everything out of the warehouse that they had. They're not scheduled to be reproduced until, you know, into next year. So if you guys have been waiting, I would definitely scoop them up. Those are back from Megabass. All right, and then really quick, a couple of restocks. Again, getting back to Daiwa and Shimano opening up, we're seeing some Daiwa restocks and some Evergreen restocks. So I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on combat sticks. We see a return this week of the Shower Blows rod, which is the great walking topwater bait rod, just a really good all-around reaction bait rod. We also see a return of the jackhammer rod. So a lot of you guys have been waiting on the chatterbait sticks to return. Those are both back in stock this week. And then we also see a huge restock in the Daiwa Tatula Elites. So all the key rods, especially in the cranking rods, all of those return this week. So if you guys have been waiting on any of those, you can scoop those up now. All right, well, that's a wrap. Cheers, Jeff. Did you have a good time? Are you glad you're back?
That was a long one.
It's basically been downhill since the enormous tube.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, we should have just ended
it there
All
on
I
the
want to do is
tube.
throw it in the tank now.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, as always, thank you for your time. Happy Sunday to you. If you have any question on anything, drop it down below in the comments. I will definitely get to it. Jeff will leave links to the products you want to check them out closer. Griff, of all the stuff we just talked about, what are you most excited about this week?
Tube.
The enormous tube.
Yeah.
Jeff?
The tube?
Really?
Yeah.
For my muskie.
No.
Huh?
Bluegill tube. Me, it's the gunfish. But that's because it's the world's greatest name. Otaku Shad? I mean, dude.
I wonder who that's named after.
Yeah. That was well done.
Some super
Amazing angler.
keyword.
Yeah, probably the best Ned rig
weeb.
fisherman we've ever seen. Right, Griff?
It's the best network fisherman I've ever seen.
Cheers to you guys. On that note, let's go throw the tube around the shop. Around the shop?
Yeah, mop
Around the shop, throw the tube in the tank. All right, let's just end so I can drink beer. Happy Sunday, everyone. Cheers, my friends. Until next time, peace out.